How's it going, Clayton?
Oh, good.
Cam got a couple of defensive holding calls on him that looked a little ticky-tack
Oh.
on the tape. I mean, they got called. But what do you say to him when those come around? Is it, don't worry about it? Do you have to coach him to say, here's how you can avoid it? But what happens when those come and it seems like maybe they're picking on him a little bit?
Well, it's kind of one of those things where earlier Cam probably got away with some things, and going into the season, obviously he's one of the top corners in the country, and I'm pretty sure coaches will go to the officials just like we do before the game, and we turn things in, and they're just saying, watch 9, he's kind of handsy, and there's probably plays when the ball's not thrown his way, he's probably got his hand on the hip, and then he makes those plays. That's what happens. So I'm telling him that exactly. Here's what you got to you guys start playing the game a little bit more, start talking to the officials, be a little nicer to the officials, just to ask them, are you good on these certain plays so you can know what you're doing and fix those mistakes. But we coach them up at practice and try to understand that you're a really good corner. Use your eyes and your feet, not your hands as much.
Clayton,
Yep.
6 sacks to 0 sacks. Is that a point of contention for you, or how pleased are you with the pass rush being able to get back there and affect the quarterback without maybe the sack numbers to go along with it?
To me, it's all about affecting the quarterback. More importantly, I know you want the stats for the numbers, and you want to, at the end of the year, people judge you off your full body of work. But we remember how those quarterbacks feel at the end of those games. I think 4 of these quarterbacks limped off at the end of a lot of these games, and we're not out to hurt people, but we definitely want to cause some discomfort. I want to say at least 3 or 4 guys limped off the football field, but our guys are doing a really good job of creating pass rush, matching hands. I think they had 5 tips. Those are impact plays. Just not getting, they didn't miss any sacks, but I think they're doing a great job of pass rush and not mad at all at 0. It didn't feel like 0 sacks. It felt more like, definitely a lot of hits. So, yep.
Hey, Clayton.
Hey.
With that secondary finally being mostly fully healthy, just kind of how are you seeing that unit gel, and how much of a difference is it to have all of your starters able to start now?
Mm-hmm. It feels good because now you can practice a certain way. You can talk about certain things, and your guys are in one position versus playing musical chairs. And it's been difficult trying to, all right, this week you're going to play penny, this week you're going to play dime, you're going to play, he went down, so now you got to go play free. So that's been the hardest part. Trying to plug and play guys, and so, but it's a lot better now. He's at corner, he's at nickel, and just for them, just from a cohesive standpoint, they love it too.
Hey, Coach, you've employed a lot of different blitz packages over the last few weeks, and it really seemed like that all started all the way back in the Charlotte game in that second half. Was that something about that game in the first half that sort of made you decide you wanted to make a change in terms of maybe how aggressive you were being with those blitz packages? Or is this something that you've been trying to build to, trying to employ this defensive scheme with this roster over the last year and a half or so?
Obviously, it's one of those things where obviously your mindset is you want to be aggressive in any way possible. It's not always just blitzing, but our guys we're starting to cover better. We're starting to see things better. So you feel more confident in being more aggressive. So you're not going to be aggressive if you don't feel good about where people are looking and how they're playing. And we just coach things better, and guys are just a little bit more on the same page. But and obviously, when you're up in the game, teams are going to pass it. It looks like we're blitzing more when it score 10-10 and it's not going to be a lot of passes. It's going to be a run fest. You're not going to see as much run blitzes. But when you're up on teams and they get a chance to passes, you got for the outside looking in, we're going to look more aggressive. But that's kind of how the perception of that.
Clayton, was that the best team defensive performance top to bottom of the season, would you say?
I would say it was probably one of our better ones from top to bottom, from first quarter to the end against to me, a high-level opponent with really good talent. I thought Kentucky was a good night. But Texas A&M kind of presented us a different. They were a little bit more spread out than Kentucky, and they had a fast running back that you could not give a seam. We gave him 2 seams. He had 30 yards and 25-yard touchdown. So from that standpoint, I would say, yes, that was one of our better performances. Take the numbers away, but just who we was playing and the magnitude of the game.
And I guess Jordan Birch was in here talking yesterday about how Missouri likes to shift and do a lot of motions. When you're playing a team that likes to move guys around pre-snap, how do you coach that, and what are some things that players have to pay attention to before?
Birch was talking?
Yeah, he was talking.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. All right, cool. I see now. But now, as far as motions and stuff like that, we have to – obviously, we played Missouri last year, and they're a huge motion team. I'm familiar with the offense and just going against it quite a few times. And obviously, most teams now are motion offenses, but these guys are They don't stop. Some teams do it for the first 15 plays. They get cute, and then they stop. These guys here in Missouri, those guys are motion and jet you the whole game until the end.
Hey there. Is it hard to teach defensive backs how to disguise coverages, and how is Nick and DQ as far as picking up that skill?
Right now, it's disguising coverages come with a lot of comfort and understanding that you're not afraid to get 4 or 5 steps of where you're supposed to be at. You know what I mean? And have the timing of when the quarterback's going to snap it. When you're a true freshman, we're not going to ask you to do a lot of disguising. Get to where you're supposed to get to and get your eyes on your guy, but disguising is definitely something that you have to get used to doing. You have to have confidence in the scheme that you're in and what the offense is doing, and more importantly, the situation.
Clayton, did you drink overlap at NC State at all? Was it briefly? I guess, what's that like going up against a drink-coached offense? And I guess what's kind of y'all's relationship?
See, you've normally done the homework, man. Yes, we worked together in 2016 at NC State, yep.
And I guess, what's it like going up against his offense, or what was it like working with him?
No, Drink's a high energy guy. He flies around, and you can hear him here and there. But for the most part, his offense is going to challenge you from a motion shift and trickery, and they have a lot of different schemes that they're really good at. A lot of teams try to do multiple runs, and they're not so efficient. They're pretty efficient at a couple different run concepts.
And then just real quick, I mean, I know we've seen your name thrown around for some head coaching jobs that have come open. I guess sorry, we got this late into the press conference. I had to throw the token question out there, but
yeah.
I guess what's that like to be considered for things like that and be someone that folks do think is going to be a head coach at someday?
Well, I mean, to me, it's humbling knowing that the fact that people have that type of opinion on how we're doing here at South Carolina and what we're doing. It's great to be recognized for all of us in the building. It's been fun, but just, as far as the Charlotte job, I don't know any coaches there. I haven't heard a thing from anybody. Bruce Feldman put out a nice tweet, and Bruce, a nice, respected reporter out west, and you guys took it and ran with it. But it's nice for us all to be recognized, but have no idea. I mean, I haven't talked to anybody from Charlotte. So,
Clayton, hope you're doing well. From Darius Rush, what's the biggest growth you've seen from him? Just SEC Defensive Player of the Week this week. He's kind of had a nice year here. How have you seen him grow from week 1 to now?
To me, with Rush, it's the main thing with him is just he's becoming a better practice player, and he's understanding the smaller things. And he's always been a good practice player. Now I think he's becoming a great practice player, and that's just going to show out on the field. He's a ultra talented corner. I mean, he's tall, long, smart, very cerebral guy, but he's practicing better. He's having different temperament in regards of things that aren't as flashy in his position, and Coach Gray's grinding him all the time, and I think it's paying off for Rush. But it was nice to see him to have a production, and the way he stepped in front of that ball the other night was awesome to see right in front of our sideline, because we all know he has the talent. Hopefully keeps it up. Thank you, guys. Take care.